There he is in a dark room. I don't know if this is symbolic of where he's at mentally right now, but that is Dillon Danis, El
I'm
Jefe himself. Dillon, how are you?
good. How you doing? Can you see me, or do I need to
Oh no,
move
you are
around? This
great.
light's a little bit weird.
The connection is phenomenal. It's
The
a bit of a
Irish
dark
light.
room. It's a dark room. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
the
you're like
Irish
the Undertaker.
light. No, I'm in John's house. I'm in one of his rooms, so it just looks a little bit because like the light is kind of weird here.
No, no, it's all good. I appreciate you doing this. Are you staying with John in Ireland?
Yeah, for the time being, I'm here now. Yeah, I'm staying with him.
What's that like? Do you like staying with him, or would you rather your own place?
I know I like staying with John. John is really he's really cool to be around, especially around a fight, because like me and him had kind of the same mindset where we're always on and talking about techniques and talking about everything. So even after training, we come home. I'm like, oh, did you see that position today? And then we'll just like even do it in the house, just kind of work on it. So I mean, I like to be on with this stuff 24/7. So being around John is awesome for me. He has a great mind for the sport, and I like to talk to him and discuss ideas and stuff like that.
Why did you decide to do your whole fight camp there?
Because in New York, it's a little bit like if you think about New York, there's really no really good fighters from New York because it's very hard to kind of find like a home. You have to be doing your boxing in some other place and doing your jiu-jitsu and doing all this stuff in all these different places. So it's a little bit harder to get the training that you need in New York, and people cancel it. It's just a little bit harder. So the camp here is good because I have everything under one roof and I have John here for me. And yeah, it's just where I live is a little bit harder to do that. And
Um,
obviously my connection with these guys, I love all of them, so it's good.
and being away for essentially, you're going to stay the entire time there, right? Leading up to the fight. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm still deciding. I might come back for Artem's fight and then finish out my camp there because I do train with Phil Nurse back in New York and I have my jiu-jitsu gym. But I'm just gonna see how I feel and kind of just play it by ear.
Okay. You signed with Bellator almost exactly a year ago, and now here you are getting set for your debut in April. Why did it take so long for you to finally get that debut fight?
Even when I signed it, I said I wanted to still do jiu-jitsu. I wasn't saying I'm gonna fight right away. At the time being, everybody was trying to sign me, so I said, why not just take the deal? But I feel like since I've been 15 years old, I've been ready to make this debut. I feel like 15, 16, even going on, I could have done this and submitted everybody. So I've been ready for this since I was a kid. And you can ask anybody that's ever trained with me. I was born for this.
How are like now you're sparring, right? You're getting punched in the face, correct?
I've been getting punched in the face for a long time. Don't worry.
Okay,
I kind of like all these questions. I've been getting this a lot. Like, what's his stand up going to be like, and all this stuff. But the only good thing about, I mean, the good thing about MMA is that everything gets answered. So I guess
okay.
we'll see. You have to tune in.
So you're almost insulted when asked these questions because you feel like people don't believe that you're comfortable getting punched.
It's not even that fact. It's that people would think that I would do this not prepared. Like they think that I would take this as a joke. And I know MMA is a very ruthless game, and you can get hurt, and you can basically you can hurt you could change your life with a wrong fight or something. So it kind of I feel disrespected that people would think that I'm just going into this lightly or I'm just gonna train jujitsu or something like that. I respect this game a lot, and I'm preparing for a world title fight in a sense because that's how every fight should be treated. And yeah, that just felt a little bit disrespected that people would think that I took this lightly.
What, if anything, do you know about Kyle Walker?
I mean, I have no clue. I don't really know anything about him. I mean, I give my hat off to him because a lot of people weren't taking the fight. It was taking a while to find someone, but they just needed someone to sacrifice their life for me, and that's what's happened.
Were you a part of the process in finding your first opponent? Like, did they bring you names and did you choose, or did they just say, "Okay, it's
Uh,
Kyle Walker"?
I just and stuff like that. I didn't really get involved with it. Whenever they sent me him, I just said, okay, it's good. I mean, I'm fresh in the sport, and I'm just starting out, so I have a lot of years ahead of me. So let's start out and just go for it.
The way in which you decided, okay, April 28th, was it like you calling up Bellator and saying, "Okay, I'm ready. This date sounds good. I like this card," or were they keeping tabs? Like, how did the process go over the past year? Did they just say, like, "Call us when you're ready"? How did it all shake out?
I just called and said the phenom is ready, and that was it. And then they just put me on the card. I said that Chicago card looked nice. I was like, that's close to my house, and it's a good city, and I said let's do that one.
Okay. You obviously recognize there's a big bullseye on your back, correct?
Yeah, I like that though. I mean, if there wasn't a bullseye on my back and there wasn't questions, then who would really care about the fight? You know, there's a lot of guys that are in this game that have been in it for years or like journeymen or something, and no one even cares about them. So at the end of the day, questions, bullseyes, people talking shit, it's all good. You know, you can put as much pressure on me as you want, but when you're this good, you don't feel pressure.
You study some of the, the more publicized debuts in I mean, Bellator had Aaron Pico, right? And there was all kinds of talk about him being a phenom, and then you know what happened in his debut. Do you study those things and listen to what they say about the mistakes they made so that you don't make those same mistakes?
No, I wouldn't say I study them, but I seen it, and for my, I wouldn't say I study them in a sort, but I study a lot of jujitsu guys' debuts, you know, and I try to look what they did wrong and stuff like that. And you know, it's kind of weird. A lot of people in jiu-jitsu kind of tell me it's different. It's in all these kind of things, and I kind of think about it. And I'm like, why wouldn't you try to motivate me and try to tell me, you know, what I could do better? But I feel like at the end of the day, when someone didn't do it or someone couldn't do it, they try to put it on you like it can't be done.
Hmm.
And everybody's different, so I feel like I'm prepared for MMA.
Do you feel like you are getting support from the jujitsu community?
I would say half and half. I mean, there is a lot of guys that send me nice messages, and you know, and I talk to at tournaments or kind of moving me forward. I mean, pushing me forward. And then you got guys that are kind of like they didn't do it, so they want to put it on you. You know, and I find that a lot in the sport where someone couldn't do something, and then they try to tell you you can't do something. And I just see that as a hate, and I don't know. I kind of just steer away from it. Like, don't talk to me if you're not going to talk to me about positive things.
Right. And where do things stand with your jujitsu career now that you're pursuing this and your fight camp has started? How are you gonna divide your time?
Like, at the end of the day, I still love jujitsu so much, and I was thinking maybe after this fight I would do the worlds, but you know, in this sport, you just really never know. But I really want to do jujitsu still, and that's my passion. That's my love since I was a kid, and even when I'm training MMA, I still feel like you know I have that love for jujitsu. But I'm still doing jujitsu. It's just at a different stage and a different sport.
So you are going to continue, competing in jujitsu, right? You have not retired. You're not taking a break, like a long break.
I'm old, so I mean, we'll see. I just want to see where it goes and see where my training is going and everything like that. And I don't know. I'll decide. But I do want to. I still have a lot of things to prove with jiu-jitsu. I have a lot of guys I think are not that good that I'll beat, and I really want to win the world championships at black belt.
It's kind of funny. I guess a rival of yours in the world of jujitsu, Gary Tonin, is making his MMA debut this weekend. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So I was going to ask if you were going to pay attention to it, but I guess you're not going to pay attention to it.
No, I mean, I want to pay attention to it, but I don't. I don't wish bad things on anybody. I hope he does good, and you know, it's going to help the sport. So yeah, I hope he does good. I don't. I don't like to say like you know, even if we're rivals, I wouldn't say like, oh, I hope he loses or something like that. That's just bitterness and hate. And I hope he does good, and best of luck to him.
And I wasn't expecting you to say that I hope he does poorly, but I was wondering if you're the kind of guy who would watch his performance, hope he wins, but then hope to top his performance, do something even better than him.
No, man, I see just me in this game. I don't watch anybody else and try to top anybody else. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm in it for you know me, and I don't really care what he does, and it is what it is.
As far as your corner is concerned for your debut, will it be all SBG guys?
No, it will be John Kavanaugh, and then it would be my jiu-jitsu coach, Murillo Santana. So, and then I don't know about the third yet. I still have to decide. But I train at UND now, UND Jiu-Jitsu in New York, and my coach is Murillo Santana. So he will be in my corner too.
When we had you in studio, you talked at length about the falling out with Marcelo Garcia. Has that been repaired?
Yeah.
Are you back on speaking terms?
No, I have not talked to him. I've seen him in the street a couple of times in Europe, but that's it. We haven't really talked or anything like that.
So when you see each other in the street, do you say hello?
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a little bit of an awkward head nod or something like that, you know.
Wow.
Marcelo's very standoffish and holds grudges. So I mean, it is what it is. I have no ill will towards him. I hope he, you know, like I love him. He was like my like a dad figure for me, and I hope everything kind of works itself out, or we can just keep going like this. Doesn't really matter to me, but yeah, I always loved him like a dad, and I always hope everything goes well for him in his life.
but you are hopeful that one day you'll be able to repair the relationship?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Marcelo is yeah, like he gave me my I'm a black belt under Marcelo Garcia, and I will be till I die. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, and I think it will patch itself over time, or it won't patch itself over time. If it
Yeah.
happens, it happens. Life works in weird ways.
You have an unbelievable mentor by your side in John Kavanaugh. You're staying at his house, but do you also kind of wish that you had him to speak to as you prepare for your debut?
I think about that sometimes, but I did talk to Marcel a lot about MMA, and we talked about the mindset about it before I left, and we have trained MMA together. He used to get gloves, and we would kind of just spar here and there. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of good people around me, so it is what it is.
How present is Conor McGregor at the gym these days?
I mean, he's there. He's always helping. He's a mentor to me. I look up to Connor a lot. In my opinion, the best fighter of all time right now, and it's really cool to talk to him about training, mindset, everything. Yeah, I look at him as a mentor, and I'm really happy to be able to be really close friends with him and training partners. And yeah, it's a good relationship.
You cornered him in two of his biggest fights ever. I'm wondering if he'll return the favor and corner you in your debut.
I don't know. I'm probably not. I would imagine he's a very busy guy. I wouldn't expect him to, but I know he'll for sure be watching. So I mean, he doesn't owe me anything. I don't like operate like that. If I do something for you, you do it for me.
Sure.
At the end of the day, we just have a real relationship, and it's crazy. He's supported me over my jiu-jitsu matches more than a lot of people would. So yeah, I
Wow.
have a lot of respect for him.
Will you ask him to
Yeah.
corner you?
No, no. I would never
No.
ask anybody to do anything. I mean, that's just yeah. No, I wouldn't ask him.
He is brilliant when it comes to the brilliance of fighting, right? Like the mindset of fighting, the psychological part of it. Have you had any talks with him since being in Ireland about just tackling this mentally and the debut and everything that goes into it?
We haven't spoke about it too much, but ever since I met him, we have talked about that kind of stuff, and so I feel like we have covered it before, and I'm pretty sure I'll talk to him about it. I'm still here for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being around him, he's a very motivating person, and he always instills in me that this is you're gonna do this, and this is your shot. So he's really good at motivating, and he's a really good friend, and he's really good to talk to about all things.
Is there a particular part of training about preparing for this fight that you've, kind of surprised yourself at how much you like it, how well you're doing at it, a certain component of mixed martial arts training that you're like, wow, I didn't expect to like this, but I actually like this?
No, I like everything. I love just improving and getting better, and I feel like a white belt again. Like even sometimes in like certain things, like it's fun to learn, and it's fun to just kind of put your mind to something. Even in jiu-jitsu, when you get to black belt, you're still a white belt because you're always learning. But it's just cool to be able to kind of start over again and to kind of work on new things and stuff like that. I really enjoy MMA training, but at the end of the day, it's all the same. And jiu-jitsu and MMA, it's just hard work that pays off, nothing else. So that's why it's easy for me, because I know how to work hard, and I know how to work really hard. So MMA is pretty simple. It's the same kind of recipe. Work your ass off and you'll get the results.
By the way, you said on this show famously last year that you are the highest paid fighter in Bellator, right? You did say that.
Yeah, I did say that.
Is that still the case? Have you been keeping tabs on other deals? Are you still number one?
I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, no one knows what they get in sponsor money, so
Sure.
no one's ever gonna find out. But yeah, I feel like in Bellator, I mean, who really else is getting that much, even in sponsors, So we'll see.
Do you have big time sponsors for this fight?
Yeah, we're working on a couple deals and stuff like that, and I always had sponsors in jiu-jitsu and stuff, so I'm one of the bigger names in jiu-jitsu. So I get a lot of the sponsorships and stuff like that, and we're working on some good deals for this fight.
When you say we, who's we? Like, do you have a MMA manager as well?
I'm not completely signed yet, but I'm almost the deal. Like it's just like almost there with Audi and the Paradigm.
Okay, all right. That obviously makes sense. And
Yeah,
have you
we're
noticed
close.
what's that?
So we're very close to signing the deal. It's just a couple little like here and there things.
Okay. And have you noticed that BJJ sponsors are going to follow you into MMA? Like they want to be a part of this as well?
I would think so. We'll see. I mean, I haven't talked to them about it yet because right now I'm still kind of far away from the fight, and but I'm pretty sure they will because in jiu-jitsu they're very supportive and everybody, always helps you. So I would imagine why they would help me in a new endeavor. So we'll
Sure.
see how it goes.
Are you going to try to not win via submission to prove that you are a well-rounded fighter? Like, is that a goal of yours?
No, I mean I like to win by submission because I represent jiu-jitsu, and at the end of the day, I feel that a really a true jiu-jitsu fighter should be able to fight anybody at any style at any time, and I want to prove that. I feel like it's a Gracie in action kind of thing. I feel like I'm going into a fight like it's like those old Gracie challenges from back in the day.
Yeah.
But we'll see what I'm gonna do. I mean, it's probably, this guy has all the pressure on him. He has what 6 fights pro. He has 7 fights amateur. He has a couple of boxing fights, and I'm the 0-0 MMA fighter. So we will see if what I say is true.
Wait, so you actually think he has more pressure on him than you?
I think so. I think everybody's saying, "Go shut this kid up. He doesn't know how to fight MMA." All this stuff to him, so he's the one that has the big burden on his back to shut up the kid that is saying he's the best.
Did you consider taking an amateur fight?
No, because I know what I could do, and I know my work that I put in the gym, and I just believe in myself 100%, and I want to go straight for the top.
Is this one of those things where you kind of wish that you can fast forward time? Like, are you ready for April 28th, or are you happy that you have a month and a half left in this training camp
No,
and
I
to
wish it was
spend?
tomorrow. Yeah, I wish it was tomorrow. I would clean him up tomorrow if it came down to it. Uh, I've been ready for this since I was 15 years old. So it could be tomorrow, it could be a month, it could be a year. It doesn't matter. The result will stay the same.
Wow, that's amazing. Who's the bigger draw on that card, you or Fedor?
I mean, come on, it's obviously me. I mean, that's not even a question. Fedor's a curtain jerker for me. No, but
The
yeah,
card-
to be honest, to be honest though, being on the same card as Fedor, being a kid and watching for it, that's a super cool thing. It plays in the back of my head. I mean, sometimes you sit back and you appreciate those kind of things. My debut fight, I'm on the same card as the arguably the goat of
yeah,
MMA. But I mean, nowadays it's different. Fedor's a little bit older now, and
sure.
there's a new era in town. So I would say that the numbers peak when I fight, and then maybe go down when he fights. But we'll see.
By the way, have you been keeping tabs on Mackenzie Dern's MMA foray? And if so, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I'm friends with Mackenzie just from jiu-jitsu and stuff, and I think that's awesome what she's doing, fighting in the UFC and stuff like that. And I hope she does well because that just helps everybody in jiu-jitsu grow and stuff like that. And she's a really hard worker, and she competes in jiu-jitsu really well. Like her style transitions into MMA perfectly, and I think that's what a lot of people say like, oh, this guy's jiu-jitsu won't do good in MMA, and it all has to do with styles. Because you could win a jiu-jitsu match by stalling or anything, but her style is very aggressive and very submission oriented. So she does really well in MMA because of that. And I feel like I have a very similar style where we go for the kill and the bell. So yeah, I'm very happy for her, and I hope she does really good.
So the fight is a month and a half away. Is it okay to ask for a prediction? How do you see this playing out? Can we get an official prediction for your MMA debut?
It'll be a submission in the first round, 100%.
Wow, take it to the bank
Yeah,
on the record.
maybe TKO, but it'll be the first round.
Wait, now you're saying you just said TKO. That's a completely different fight.
All
That's
right,
that's a
I'll go with the submission. I'll go with the submission. Sometimes you were right because sometimes you want to take the TKO just to like, what
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
have a
yeah.
TKO. But I believe it'll be submission.
Is there a particular kind of submission that you think will really like be your signature in MMA?
No, I mean I'm well rounded from everywhere, and if you go watch my jiu-jitsu matches, I can finish anybody from any position. So, it will be fun to see what I will catch them in. I don't want to limit myself to one submission,
Sure,
but I
sure.
will say that it will be really fun to watch. Trust me.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited about it. I'm happy it's almost here. I appreciate you doing this, Dylan. This is very exciting stuff. Good luck in training. Thanks for jumping on. I know it's tough to find. We had John Phillips on from the Caravan last week, and the Wi-Fi wasn't so good. So this, I guess, you're inside the house. The Wi-Fi is better than outside the house.
Yeah, exactly.
um,
Wi-Fi is better than inside.
but I wish you the best, Dylan. Thank you so much, and of course, good luck on April 28th.
Thank you, Ariel. Appreciate it.